I just found my great-grandparents' hidden journals. They weren't just farmers. They were demonologists. People called them when the church couldn't help. This is the entry from October 12th, 1894, Day 1 at the Blackwood Manor. We arrived at the manor just as the sun dipped below the tree line. The air here doesn't move. It sits heavy on your lungs like wet wool. The locals wouldn't even bring our trunks to the porch. Within an hour of unlocking the front door, the house began to speak. Not the creaking of wood, but the sound of a woman humming from inside the walls. Lorraine found the first sign in the nursery. A hand-carved rocking horse was moving in the center of the room. It wasn't swaying. It was galloping. When I reached out to stop it, the wood felt hot, nearly 105 degrees Fahrenheit. It wasn't friction. It felt like a fever. My grandfather wrote that he looked at the floorboards beneath the horse and saw deep claw marks, as if something was trying to pull the toy down into the cellar. He ends the day with one sentence: "We are not alone, and it knows we brought the salt." Day 2 is where the presents stopped hiding. My grandfather's handwriting here is almost unreadable. His hand was shaking so hard the ink is blotted across the page. October 13th, 3 a.m. We haven't slept. The entity has started to mimic us. I was in the study when I heard Lorraine calling me from the kitchen. I went to her, but she wasn't there. I found her a moment later in the hallway. She had just heard my voice calling her from the cellar. The physical attack started shortly after. The silver tea set we brought, consecrated silver, began to melt on the sideboard. It turned into a black, oily sludge that smelled like rotting meat. When I tried to wipe it away, the sludge formed words on the wood. "Leave the woman." Then, the mirrors. Every mirror in the house shattered simultaneously, but the glass didn't fall to the floor. It stayed suspended in the air, vibrating, pointing toward Lorraine like 1,000 tiny daggers. The entry ends abruptly with a bloodstain on the corner of the paper. He just wrote, "It's in the walls now. It's behind the wallpaper." I'm terrified to open the entry for day 3. October 14th, 1894. The page is scorched at the edges, like it was held too close to a fire. 3:13 a.m. The house has stopped pretending to be a building. It is a throat, and we are being swallowed. The entity finally showed itself in the cellar. It took the form of a man with no face, just a smooth, pale surface where features should be. It spoke to Lorraine, using my own voice, begging her to let go of the crucifix. We held our ground in the salt circle. I began the incantation while Lorraine held the silver bell. The floorboards didn't just creak, they screamed. The glass shards from the broken mirrors began to fly around the room like a cyclone. One sliced my cheek, but I didn't stop the right. Lorraine rang the bell 3 times, a sound so pure it felt like it was cracking the very air in the room. On the 3rd ring, the entity collapsed into a pile of black ash. It is gone, but the house is scarred. We've buried the ash beneath the hearth and sealed it with lead. We are leaving at dawn. I fear that while the demon is gone, it left a seed in the shadows of this place. If anyone ever finds this diary, do not dig up the hearth. That's the end of the Blackwood entries, but there are 5 more journals in this trunk. I think I need to see what happened in 1896.